available for operations. And today we'll be discussing about revenue optimization, that is dynamic pricing and revenue optimization. So to set the context of the discussion, let's try to understand what that means. So revenue optimization is basically maximizing your revenue given a limited inventory at hand. And dynamic pricing is basically you're changing the price at different point in time, or preferential pricing is given to a set of customers so that the revenue is maximized. Now, intuitively, you can see that if you offer a higher price to a particular customer and if the demand is high, naturally you generate a higher revenue. But that's not always like that. So, for example, this concept of revenue optimization started almost a century ago, but the adoption of this concept into the industry, especially in the logistics industry, started probably towards the end of 1970s when American Airlines came up with a revenue management system after the airline industry was being regulated there. Now, how does this work? Or what are the ways in which a company or a logistics company can do this? So dynamic pricing is just one way of maximizing the revenue given a set of inventory. There are other avenues also a firm can employ. You must be knowing, or you must have experienced what some of these. One is what we call overselling. So overselling is basically what an airline, for example, they have a limited number of seats. Let's say 100 seats in a particular flight from Delhi to Mumbai, and they are selling 150 seats in the hope of having some cancellation. So even in the event of cancellation, the airline would be able to carry all the passengers, or all the seats are occupied, and the revenue is maximum. Now, overselling is also a very tricky concept because you are betting against the order cancellation. Suppose the cancellation rate is very low. So what you end up doing is you will be having a higher cost to serve the particular passenger. So, for example, if the passenger comes to the airport and realizes that he won't be able to get a seat there because the airline has oversold their seat to you, then probably you also must be agitated, and to pacify you, the airline might offer you a 5-star hotel stay, or they may give you a 10,000 rupees voucher. So naturally, the cost of serving that particular passenger goes up for you. So this is a very tricky aspect. Overselling is a very tricky aspect which the airlines use, but this is also one of the tools. I'm not getting into that in detail now. But just to point out that dynamic pricing is not exactly the only tool which the logistics industry use to maximize the revenue. There are tools like overselling or booking hotels and so on. Now, what exactly is dynamic pricing in the context of logistics? So here, let's try to understand that it's a way of offering a preferential price to a set of customers. Now, this preferential price is not just a random price. It is actually calculated based on two important factors. One is the remaining capacity and the remaining time. For example, we are logging into a booking platform of an airline. So the price that is at offer is actually a base price for your class. For example, you are a business class customer, then you are offered a base price plus whatever the variable component, which is dependent on the remaining capacity and time. If the flight is scheduled maybe 1 week down the line, the remaining capacity, let's say the flight has 100 seats and only 50 seats are left, and you have 1 week left, that will set the price for this particular class of customer. If you are logging into the same platform, maybe tomorrow, only 6 days left, and depending on the inventory, maybe 30 seats of inventory, there is a different prices. So essentially, it is a remaining capacity for the remaining inventory level and the remaining time that is helping, or that is helping to set the price. So I hope most of you got the understanding of how a dynamic price environment is. So this is the context in which the dynamic pricing works. Now, dynamic pricing is not just used for revenue maximization all the time. It is also used by certain government agencies. It is also used by government to adjust the demand flow so that the capacity is properly utilized. Excuse me for the time. I think a few people can't hear it properly. Uh, is it better now? Excuse me for a moment. Okay, I think the sound is slightly better now. So where we stopped is basically is that dynamic pricing is not exactly for revenue maximization or revenue optimization, no, always. So it is also used by government agencies or government to ensure the capacity or to adjust the demand flow to manage the capacity. I will explain what that is. For example, you have a limited infrastructure, let's say Delhi to Gurgaon. So you have a highway, maybe 6-lane highway, and you have a flow of cars and other vehicles during certain times of the day are very high compared to certain other times of the day. So, and this puts a lot of strain on the system. So there are certain class of people who want to reach their particular place within certain timeline, whether the other people are much more relaxed in terms of reaching there. For example, they don't have any particular urgency to reach there. If they can reach, that is well and good. So what government does is, in this situation, whoever wants to reach that particular or whoever wants to use that particular resource at that point in time is offered a different price so that those who don't have to use that particular point and they are having it probably free and they can use it at a much later point in time. So this can be probably implemented through a toll gate or this can be implemented through some queuing system and charging for that as well. So what happens essentially here also is the capacity that the government has in terms of the highway, right, that is well regulated. So, if you don't charge them to use, let's say from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. at night, there is no toll. There are some people or certain class of vehicles, for example trucks or something, they don't have to use in the early morning hours, rather they can use towards the later time of the day, and the capacity of the system is not under strain, or the system is not under strain. So, so this is essentially the concept of a dynamic pricing environment is. Now, the core principle here is the perceived value of the underlying inventory in the mind of the customer. If the customer doesn't understand the perceived value of that inventory at that particular point in time, the system fails. So, for an airline, for example, if a business class customer he wants to go for a conference on a particular date, the value that in his mind for that particular flight to catch is much more high, much higher. So he is actually willing to pay a premium to ensure he gets a seat in that particular flight. While a leisurely traveler, or probably he's going on vacation, he is probably looking at the lowest fare to travel between Delhi and Mumbai, and he is okay going at a much later time, maybe the next day or in an afternoon flight. So this price differentiation actually helps to create a fence among the class of passengers who want to go in a particular flight and who want to go in a different flight. And the most important thing here to understand is this needs to be, pricing is a very sensitive topic, and if this fencing is not exactly clear, what happens is even there will be a crossover. By that what I mean, a particular customer who is willing to pay a higher price he may end up paying a lower price for you. So the value that you actually would have got from that particular customer and what you end up getting, there's a difference. Or vice versa as well. There are some customers who would have taken this flight otherwise. Now they will be totally ignoring this flight, and the flight might be probably empty also. So the creation of this fence, the price fence, is very important to set the context of a dynamic pricing. So I hope most of you understood what a dynamic pricing is and what are the factors which affect it. So if anyone has any question, probably we can discuss that as well. Yes, it's not clear. It's coming. Some people are saying they got it here.
I can hear. I was just outside looking
So I
at
tested the voice. So apparently that is clear. It's coming properly in others' mobile phones and systems. So
Can we restart the session or we'll delete this? This is going live. I'll finish this and